I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you're listening to the Media Brothers 2.0, episode number 70.
Media Brothers 2.0 episode number 70. This is Aaron.
This is Andrew, episode 70. We're back. We've been on hiatus, but we're back. Episode 70. What does 70 mean to you? What does 70 mean to you?
It means death. You're getting old, bro. You're getting old at 70.
Do you think you're going to make 70? I don't think I'm even going to make 70.
No chance, bro.
There's no way.
No chance.
If I'm 70, just kill me at that point, you know?
Bro, I'm like 250 pounds, bro. Ain't no way.
If I'm 70, if you're listening out there, just kill me at that point if we get that far.
No, bro.
Episode 70,
We're still going to be doing the show, bro. We're still going to be doing the show. What you talking about?
This is episode 7000. I'm Andrew. We're the media grandpas.
So big changes for both of us. You got a new job a few months ago.
Yeah.
I started my new job this week.
Yeah. How's it going? How's that going?
It's good, man. It's good. Cool. I got on with a very good company.
That's awesome.
Making more money. I'm happy, bro. Happy.
More money, and I mean, you get to. I'm working from home.
If anybody doesn't know, I got laid off like in November, just because the housing market crashed. Interest rates shot through the roof, and mortgage companies laid off everybody. So I got caught in that layoff, and so I was sad at first, but in all actuality, coming down to the end, I mean, to the actual stepping back and looking at everything, is I'm way better off, bro. I got a job where I can actually get promoted and move up, and I'm making good money, and then I'm working from home, so it's an awesome job.
It's kind of ironic that we both got. Number one, we got new careers. Number one, we kind of shifted I was in education, now I'm not. I'm in oil and gas. You were in mortgages, and now you're in whatever.
Insurance. I'm in insurance.
Okay, if you want to talk about it. And then so I was in office, and you kind of worked remotely a little bit during COVID, but it was a remote job, right? It wasn't really your old job.
No, I mean, during COVID it was for about a year, but I mean, I've been back at the office for a year and a half every day, 5 days.
Yeah, so you've been working for the past year. So we both got remote jobs now. We both have career paths. That's another thing I want to mention. My job started amazingly. Shout out my company. I'm not going to give their name out, but they also have a career path set for me, so I can work my way up. And we're both remote, and we both changed careers. And can I say something that's kind of even more interesting to me is that the day that I started my job, you got laid off. Like the
exact day. Yeah.
the day. And I mean,
off.
that's kind of, after all the stuff where we break the matrix and stuff, that's a huge one, I think. Anyway,
pretty wild.
It's pretty wild, crazy. Right? That's a little bit of our personal updates. We've been gone for a week, and we got a lot of changes going on. I moved.
So we're getting settled in, but now that I'm on like a strict schedule, I want to get back into doing the show on a strict schedule. So hopefully we'll be, next couple weeks.
Yeah, we're trying. We're getting
back
there.
On. Yeah.
Well, we're getting there. We started this 2.0 as a kind of a experiment during the COVID era. Like right when COVID hit, we were starting. And we were consistent, man. We were there every week, and we kept doing shows. And so look, man, life happens. The point is we're here and we're back, and we're never gonna go anywhere. Like this show will go on until we're 70, episode 7000, and we're the media grandpas. Like we're gonna do this forever. Yeah.
Let's hope so.
So it's good to be back though. There's a lot of stories in the news. When you're
hold on, first off, before you get started, because I know you're gonna kind of run the show today. Yeah. I want to talk about The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I watched it. So.
Bro, how good is that?
It is amazing. So my first question to you, did you play? I remember, so interestingly enough, it syncs back around to the Media Brothers 1.0 when we started this in 2013, whatever. Almost, 9 years ago now. But Peter, shout out Peter, I know you're listening. gave you his PS4, was it back then, or 3?
Yeah,
I don't know.
PS4.
One of those. He hooked you up because he got a new one or whatever. And Aaron, like, one of the biggest games at that time was Last of Us, and I played it on my hacked PS3. I played it on my hacked PS3, and it was amazing. Like, this game, I knew the minute I played it, it was special. It's from the development group Naughty Dog. He was a PlayStation exclusive developer. They only make PlayStation games. They're known for Uncharted, which that kind of brings me into another discussion about video games and movies and television. But Uncharted movie came out, which most video game movies have been shitty. That's kind of the whole history of video
Uncharted
games.
was okay though.
But Uncharted was good. They had Mark Wahlberg and
Spider-Man.
whatever the dude's Spider. I'm not even gonna act like I know his name, but
I
Spider-Man.
can't remember
dude.
his name off the
The
top
little
of my head
kid.
either.
And I'm not gonna look it up.
He's the
like
best
he-
Spider-Man too.
He is the best Spider-Man. I can't. But that guy and Mark Wahlberg, they did a pretty good Uncharted. So that was kind of like the first time where you're like, oh shit, maybe this is changing, because forever. Tom Holland, by the way, his name's Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland.
So I had to look him up because he is the best Spider-Man. So you got to give him a shout out, Tom Holland.
You
But-
beat me to it because I was looking at it.
So Uncharted was the movie with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, and that's also a Naughty Dog game. And so that was the first I noticed a shift at that point. I was like, oh shit, maybe this is changing, because every video game movie has been shitty.
Right, they've tried it before, and it just really had. Mortal Kombat was decent.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Mortal
Kombat's
Kombat was decent.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's
Kombat-
nothing like what Uncharted and The Last of Us is.
Yeah, no.
But The Last of Us, dude, that show is amazing, bro. It's got a kind of a video game feel, but not really. And they're sticking to the plot. And the one thing you know about that video game, The Last of Us, is like that is one of the best plots of all time of any video game ever.
100%. And like, it was so well done. Like the way, and if you haven't played the game I know most people listening probably have, or at least know what it is. It's like the game like starts out and you're controlling Joel, who is the main character besides Ellie, right? You're controlling Joel, which, by the way, they found the perfect actor, right, Aaron? Pedro Pascal.
Bruh.
Dude, come on. I mean, that's Joel. Joel.
That was the one thing that The Last of Us did, is they cast this show off the charts.
Off the charts. And I even like how the show started out, which was not a part of the game, where it was like a TV show from the 60s, where they were talking about like the coming virus. If you don't know Last of Us, it's basically a Walking Dead type situation where a virus outbreak happens, but it's through spores, it's through fungi. And so it opens up with like a talk show. I think that was even done well, like where they explained how it could happen, and there would be no way for you to counteract the virus of a spore / zombie type virus, because if there were spores, you could not defend against it because how the spores work. So it even opened up in a really good way. But you're right, the casting was amazing. And in the game, like I was saying, you open up and you're controlling Joel's daughter, okay, like his daughter, right? And it does not go like how the show went. You're just kind of walking through. It's basically the same story beats. But they even did the intro like perfect, dude. Like right away, I was like, oh, they're really staying true to the game. And a lot of adaptations, especially books and stuff, they don't stay true. They just kind of take the story beats and the main like functions that happen, and then they kind of put the plot line across, but they change it for Hollywood. This is not the case. This is the first thing I can remember, especially from a big fan of the original game. They're sticking right to the game, right, Aaron? I mean, this is the exact same thing as the game. Has to be.
No doubt.
And I mean, I'm really curious to see how they. I will say this though. They are using the same writer and director that directed the video game, so I think that has a big difference, like how it can translates well on the HBO to the television. They actually have Neil Druckmann. Shout out, Neil Druckmann is the guy who wrote Last of Us, and he directed the game. He's actually the director and the writer of the TV show. I think that was the most important part. Why it's really good, man. And then you got like you said, you got the right cast. I mean, I don't know how this dude's doing Mandalorian and Last of Us at the same time, but apparently he is. So
well, they're doing so they're adding things like to the shirt that the girl Sarah's wearing. It's the same kind of shirt that Ellie was wearing. And they're adding a lot of details from the game into the show. So there's a lot of stuff. If you look close, there's a lot of stuff that mimics what's in the actual game.
I didn't even notice that the shirt.
Yeah.
So Aaron pulled up a picture that shows some like split screen frames of the game shot and the movie shot, the TV show on HBO. But they're like, yeah, so it's obviously a different actress, but she's wearing the same type shirt.
Yeah, so this is Sarah. So this is his daughter. So this is actually two different parts of it. So this is the daughter, Sarah, and then that's Ellie at the bottom. But they brought the shirt into the game into the movie from the game, or into the TV show from the game.
But they reversed the characters, but they still put it in there so you would notice it. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, that is unreal. That is So that's a lot of things. I think if you hire when they did this before, like the failure. By the way, we can go on with these, but the failure movies I think about with video game Mario Brothers. I mean that was trash. I mean I can't think. Sonic. Well, Sonic was good. Sonic, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't.
I never watched it because it's so trash. There's no way it's good.
That doesn't count though because it's animation.
Hold on, so that's a good thing. Let's look up video game movies while we're doing that.
Yeah, you can pull that up. I'll even talk about Sonic. Sonic has Jim Carrey as the main. Sonic is good. Sonic's another exception because Sonic was
Is it good?
Yeah, it is. You'll like it.
What about Resident Evil? Resident Evil's a hit too.
I guess so. I guess maybe that's.
But okay, so all these we're naming, they're good. But The Last of Us is a whole different step forward, bro.
Yeah, it's the next
step
level.
forward.
Like Sonic was good. Sonic's almost. I mean, you're right though. You brought up Resident Evil. That's pretty interesting because that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, there's been
Resident Evil's got a whole like group of movies they do.
Yeah, let's just say that recently.
Okay, Super Mario Brothers, Double Dragon, and Double Dragon.
Double Dragon. What?
Yeah.
That's a movie of that?
Hold on, let's make sure.
Hold on, wait a second. I remember the reason I'm asking that because me and Aaron played Double Dragon on Nintendo like a million hours. Remember that, Aaron?
Yeah,
like, we
Street Fighter had a movie
that was terrible.
Also.
Terrible. Everybody
Mortal
knows
Kombat.
I'm
just reading them to you.
Go ahead. I'm just saying Hold on, wait. Let me stop. So Street Fighter was like known as the most shitty adapted, but I'm just gonna comment on the ones you're saying. Mortal Kombat was kind of the only good one.
There's a lot of them. Shit, there's a lot of them.
But Mortal Kombat was kind of the only good one in the 90s. Street Fighter was terrible, and everybody knows it. Keep going.
Wait, was Mortal Kombat in the 90s, there?
Yeah, 94 or 95. I had to
say movie?
If I had to guess, I'd say 94. You wanna look that up? So what year was Mortal Kombat? I would say 94. Let me look at it. Mortal Kombat.
Okay, but they have one as soon as 2021.
Yeah, but that's the reboot.
It is good. That's the better one.
That's
what I'm saying.
I haven't even seen
it.
So what was the original Mortal Kombat movie?
Let me go down a list and say quick if you remember these movies or not. Ready? Yeah. So Mortal Kombat, then they had Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yeah. First of all, Super Mario Brothers was 1993, by the way, so it was way back then, right?
Yeah, that was shit.
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
95, by the way. So 95. I know I'm interrupting, but not the original Mortal Kombat was 95. So Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Yes.
What year was that? You got years?
That was 2001.
Okay, that was good.
Resident Evil, 2002.
That was good. So around
2000.
And
then Lara Croft Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life in 2003. So they made enough money to get 11 million. Okay, so I have the numbers and everything. Okay,
let's go.
Hang on. Lara Croft Tomb Raider made 274 million at the box office.
It made.
It was number one for a long time, bro.
What did it cost to make though? What did it cost to make? 274 sounds good, but I mean, if you lost money, it doesn't sound so
I'll
good.
put you like this. Let's just start over real quick. Let's just scratch what we just talked about.
Yeah, we
Super Mario Brothers. I'm gonna just tell you what they went.
Go ahead,
I'm gonna tell you what they are, when, and what they made. Okay.
Let's go. I'm not gonna get
Super Mario Brothers, 1993, 38 million.
All right.
Double Dragon, 94.
By the way, that was shit. Okay.
Double Dragon 94 only made 4 million. Street Fighter 94 made 99 million.
Ooh. Okay.
Mortal Kombat 95, 124. The second Mortal Kombat 51, that was in 97. Wing Commander.
Wing Commander. What? That was the wait. Hold on. Can I give a little side? Our dad had this game on floppy disks. So
Wing Commander.
Yeah. So I just since you brought it up. One of the
that was in 99. It made 11 million. So Lara Croft Tomb Raider, nobody even hit 100 million until Lara Croft Tomb Raider came by, and it made 274 million. But that's because Angelina Jolie, right?
Yeah, she was the star power. Absolutely.
Okay, the second two, they had so then it was Resident Evil made 102 million in 2002. Lara Croft, the second one, made 156 million. So it was dominating at the time.
Lara Croft Tomb Raider was the shit because
House of the Dead, 2003, 13 million.
House of the Dead. What is that? Oh, that was the arcade game where you shot zombies. They had a movie of that.
Yeah.
Resident Evil. You had the gun and shit.
Exactly. So Resident Evil, 129 million in 2004. So
That
Lara
was a good
Croft's
one.
still dominating, bro.
Yeah.
Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, that's a weird. I did not know these were movies. Like Alone in the Dark's an old PC game. Like
2005, it made 10 million. Doom,
Doom was good. I like Doom.
2005, it was
Wasn't The
only
Rock
50
in that? The Rock was the.
I don't know.
he
It doesn't
was.
say.
I think
Doom,
he was though.
2005, 55 million. Blood Rain did 3 million in 2006. It
Blood
flopped.
Rain. The fuck is that?
Silent Hill
Okay.
in 2006 did 97. Dead or Alive,
All right.
2006 did 7 million.
This
Resident
list-
Evil Extension, 148. So nobody even touched the. I'm just gonna go down. I'm just gonna slide down real quick.
Yeah.
Max, I'm gonna do the ones that are over. Oh,
100, I'd say, right? I did not know.
Max
that.
Payne did 85,
Max Payne. Like I didn't know.
and that's in 2008.
I'm gonna have to tell you.
Okay, here we go. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time
Oh,
did 336 million in 2010. That's a Disney movie.
yeah, well, that's kind of like an adventure. That's right.
Here we go. Resident Evil Afterlife, 300 million in 2010.
That was 2010. Did 300 million. Once again, Resident Evil seems to be dominating this whole list. By the way.
Resident Evil Retribution did 240 million in 2012.
That's still a lot. I mean, that's a good amount. Resident Evil owns the video game list.
Need for Speed did 203 million in
Need for
2014.
Speed.
So this is getting bigger because we're getting more. Okay, Warcraft takes the lead. Believe it or not.
That was.
I know they had a
recent, right?
Warcraft movie.
I knew that, but only because I remember it. Like people saying that was good. I do remember. This is weird that you read this list out. I didn't know half these things were movies.
Warcraft in 2016 did 439 million.
Cool.
Assassin's Creed,
That was a movie.
yes, 2016, 240 million.
You know who's the star of that? Benedict Cumberbatch. That dude.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the assassin. Yeah, I knew.
There's
I
Resi-
remember that.
So Resident Evil again
God,
in
Resident
2017 did 312. So they had a freaking
cleaning up. So Resident Evil's over $1 billion, by the way, at this point.
oh yeah. Tomb Raider 274 billion in 2018.
Another Doom.
Believe it or not,
This is so
Rampage.
Rampage. You remember you used to punch buildings and shit with.
Yeah, I love that game
Dude,
back
we
in
played
the day,
that. That's
bro.
another game we played the hell out of, by the way.
It did 428. Pokemon Detective
By the way,
Pikachu.
another Rock. The Rock was in Rampage. So
Was he?
yeah, he's the main character in Rampage.
I never knew that was the movie. To be honest
Yeah,
with you.
dude. yeah, it's good too.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu did 433 million worldwide.
That was a good one. I remember Pokemon because I remember people saying that Pokemon Detective Pikachu, which sounds ridiculous, just the title of it. But I remember people saying that's actually really good for kids. I guess kids.
I mean, it did 433 million. It's like
Yeah.
third place.
Oh, that's huge.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Here we go. 322 million in
Sonic's
2020.
Sonic was good. I'll stand by that. Jim Carrey. I
And
mean,
then
come on.
everybody else was trash. Uncharted beat it though. 401
Oh,
million.
well, you got Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland.
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 beat Sonic the Hedgehog 1 at 402 million.
I will say, I haven't seen the sequel, and and I like the first one. Everybody told me the sequel of Sonic the Hedgehog was better than the first, so I'm gonna have to watch it.
Okay, so that's the basic movie list. Okay, so these are the upcoming ones. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait.
Announced.
I'm
They're
excited.
not released yet. Okay.
Well, give
It's
me- I
only
know-
two of them have dates. Okay,
I
the
know
first one is
Mario's coming out. I know.
Gran Turismo.
What? No, it is not.
It's coming out in August this year. It's
Gran
already-
Turismo?
yeah.
Is that like a
Sony's
Need for
doing it.
Speed type shit? Or what the
Yeah,
fuck are
I've
we
seen the
doing with
preview
that?
for it actually.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
What?
Okay, so Sonic the Hedgehog said, "Shit, we're making 400 million.
We're gonna make
do
another
another one." So next year, 2024, they have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 coming out. Okay, here we go.
I think you missed the biggest one, unless you say it.
Well, it's Mario, but is
Yeah.
it Mario? Is it a series or is it a movie? These
It's
are
a
big.
movie. And Chris Pratt is Mario. I mean, it's one of the biggest movies, and Jack Black's in it, and all this shit. Yeah, it's huge.
I don't know why it's not on here.
It's
but
because it's
not, okay.
animation, maybe.
I don't
No,
know.
because Sonic was Sonic was a hybrid. Is any of these pure
Hybrid.
animation that you just
No,
read?
I don't think none of them are.
No, I think that's your problem. I think they're not counting animated movies.
Okay, you ready? Borderlands is coming out.
Borderlands, that's a great game, by the way.
That'll be a fucking pretty good movie, right?
Crazy ass game series. Crazy.
Zone.
The fuck is that?
I have no idea.
Zone.
Sega is doing it. What's Death Stranding?
That's one of my favorite games from the same guy who made Metal Gear. So that's oh shit, Norman Reedus. So yeah, that just
Norman
got
Reedus.
announced.
I've seen the picture of it right now.
So Death Stranding. So I'll give you a little history real quick. I don't want to bore you, but you remember Metal Gear?
Yeah.
The same guy who made Metal Gear, Hideo Kojima. He's basically known as the best storytelling video game person because of Metal Gear. He made a game called Death Stranding with Norman Reedus as the main character.
I'm looking at it right now.
And you basically the whole game was the entire. He made this before the pandemic. I mentioned this before on one of our older shows. He made this 1 year before the pandemic. The game was called Death Stranding, and the whole game is like the entire world like got decimated by some crazy ass event, like some weird ass quantum event. And you're like the guy in your Norman Reedus that is like connecting the United States of America, which is now called the United Cities of America. You're like connecting the internet back. So like you're basically rebuilding the whole entire United States, and that's what the game is. And I did hear they announced this movie. This is a recent one that just got announced, and I'm thinking they're gonna have to have Norman Reedus. There's no way you can do it without him. There's no way.
It's gotta be right.
It's gotta be. Yeah, there's no way.
Okay, so get this out. Duke Nukem has a
what?
movie coming out.
Duke Nukem. Hail to the king, baby. I'm gonna rip off your head and shit down your neck. It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, but I'm all out of gum. I can go on forever.
Firewatch?
Dude, Nukem is having a movie for real.
Firewatch is a
Firewatch. I don't know what the fuck that is. I know Duke.
It's an adventure game developed by Campo Santo and a published and developer. The game was released in February 2016 for Microsoft. It's just like you watch for fire, I guess. I don't know. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Do you know what that is at all? My kids love this shit.
No.
It's some stupid Chuck E. Cheese. So imagine Chuck E. Cheese if they were haunted. That's what that. And it's like jumps. The whole thing is jump scares. Wah!
Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh shit! Now that's one of my favorite. So I say, this is my opinion, that Ghost of Tsushima was the best PS4 game by far.
It's pretty good.
By far, it's like Red Dead Redemption, which by the way I love that. If it was set in Japan and you were a samurai, badass game.
Just Cause.
So they're going all in on these video games movies. Just Cause,
Dance. Metal Gear.
No way, that's not true.
Yeah.
When is that set for? You have any?
It's not
just to be determined.
To be announced.
Well, if they're doing Death Stranding, which is Hideo Kojima's other game, I guess they're gonna mine all of his shit. And Metal Gear is amazing, by the way, so I can't wait.
Minecraft has a film coming out.
A film of Minecraft?
Yeah. Mortal Kombat 2, Pac-Man. I'm just going down. Silent Hill, Saints Row.
Saints Row's,
Space Invaders.
That's the whole movie.
That's it. That's basically it.
That's the whole movie. Blip, blip, blip. Are we gonna have Pong the movie?
Here it is.
We're doing
okay,
Pong?
so that was then they have the animated ones now, and they're doing. Hey, bro, they're doing Legend of Zelda.
I know. See, okay, so I know about this because Mario's coming out
April 7th. Mario.
So you know that the Minions, the Minions, right? Like you know what I'm talking about.
The Minions are hilarious.
So the same studio is I'll give them a shout out. Their name Illumination Studios. So the Illumination Studios did the Minions, and they did the Mario movie with Chris Pratt as Mario, which is whatever.
Right.
But since that seems to be catching steam, that same studio is now announced. This was like last week that they're doing the Legend of Zelda animation only though. So,
it's animation. It's Super Mario Brothers animation. Bro, guess how much money the Angry Birds movie made?
Angry Birds. How's that
animated?
A movie?
It's animated.
Yeah, but what did they do? Just like run
$352 million, bro.
352 million. What, they just crash into walls and shit?
I guess.
Like what did you do? Did they make I gotta watch the Angry Birds movie. I feel like somebody recently told me. Well, maybe not. I feel like somebody told me they've seen it. I don't know how that's the movie though. I don't know the Angry Birds.
Anyway, there we go.
You know, so video game movies. So I'll say this about I found it interesting because I was talking to somebody I work with about, do you remember the old school games? And I figured, you know what? I know you missed some from back in the day. So I guess if we go to to NES days.
This is a list of every fucking movie ever.
No, I'm going to tell you. So, no, but I'm talking.
Well, I skipped over some because they didn't know.
No, you're right. No, I mixed it up. So I was talking to somebody yesterday, last night, in fact. And if you go the other way around, it's even weirder. So when games are made after movies, they pretty much fail too. Right? So remember Roger Rabbit? We own this game. Me and Aaron own this game. So that was actually a good one. Roger Rabbit, I remember being kind of good.
It wasn't bad.
Walt sent me, like, that whole thing. So I was talking to somebody the other day about that, and they were like, that was actually a pretty good game. So I remember like those old, remember like Friday the 13th had an NES game, and it was shit. It was like the terrible. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had an NES game. It was terrible. It was so bad, dude. So think about the other way around. I mean, since we're like, I didn't expect the show to go this way, but I'd like for you to do it the other way around and pull up games that were made after movies, and let's see the best ones of those. Seriously, let's do it. I mean, we're doing this show. I'll do it if you won't pull it up. So
okay, hang on. I want to tell you something real quick.
Yeah.
So, television films. We all know what's out right now. The House of the Dead.
I'll do the next one.
The one we're doing now. But guess what's coming out? BioShock is having its series come out. Gears of War is having its series come out.
Well, that's what. Yeah, I mean that's
Mega Man is having a series come out.
Fallout's doing too. Fallout looks good. Have you? There's a trailer for Fallout.
I know. I haven't seen it yet.
Gears of War.
Yeah. What about Mega Man?
Mega Man, the movie? Like, was this a show?
It's a TV show.
TV show. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's another good point. We gotta include TV shows, I think. Yeah, that's Mega Man would be. I love By the way, can I just, since you brought up Mega Man, back in the day, Mega Man was one of the best games, dude. Like, it really was. Like, they had a whole bunch of them too. But Mega Man 2, I remember specifically. Like, even the music was good, you know, and like just the gameplay. Like, you're just a Mega Man shooting shit, and then like you beat a boss and you power up and you get the boss's superpowers basically as your weapon. Mega Man was awesome, bro. And you could use the whole thing about Mega Man was you would beat one boss, and then if you did it the right way, that's another thing to think about. Mega Man was the first game I can remember where at the beginning you could choose where you went. You know what I'm saying? Remember what it did, Aaron?
Yeah.
Like, you had like your bosses listed on a screen with squares, like almost like Hollywood squares, and you would pick. That's where you went. If you picked it the right way and you beat the first boss like the best way, you could use his weapon on the next boss and just destroy him, like just complete. Yeah, just boom. But you would never figure that out without shout out Nintendo Power or some shit like that. There's no way.
Mega Man was the shit, bro.
Mega Man was good, man. Mega Man was good.
Well, just real quick before you get into that, let's just talk about The Last of Us. Just go watch it. If you haven't seen it yet, watch it. It's on.
It's very good.
What's it on? HBO Max.
It's HBO Max, yeah, and it's I have to say, Last of Us. That's where this whole thing started. The Last of Us might be the best video game adaptation that I've ever seen.
Oh, there's. I mean, I don't even close.
And we'll see if they hold it up. But I will tell you that just judging by the first episode, it's gonna hold up. And I'm gonna tell you,
it's got the highest Rotten Tomato score I've ever seen from critics and from viewers. It's 99% for critics, 96% for viewers, which is off the charts.
That is so you got both of those. Yeah, you got both of those.
Usually the critics don't like what the viewers like.
Yeah, it's usually almost when you look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores, it almost goes completely the other way. Like it's almost one of those things where you know something's fucky or whatever's going on when you're reading something that's so skewed one way or the other, and like either the critics got it paid or the audience just hates it. You know what I'm saying?
Another reason you know it's off the charts good is Mom called me. She was like, "Dude, you gotta see The Last."
Wait, what?
I know.
You gotta be.
I know
me.
The Last of Us. It's the best video game of all time. One of the best, top 5 in my opinion of all time. And
no way. My mom did not do that.
And she was like, "There's no way it's a video game." I said, "Yeah, it's a video game. You gotta check it out. If the story follows the video game story, there's always scratching the surface right now."
Yeah, and you know what? The funny, I'll ask you this because I was mentioning this to somebody else. Do you think? And this is an interesting topic, I think, regarding Last of Us and the HBO Max show, and that it's a widely popular video game. Do you think it would be better if you didn't know the game at all? Like Mom, like imagine Mom watching it and not knowing anything though. Because there's so many. That's what I was
about to say. I'm sorry to interrupt, but on TikTok, just to add to that, on TikTok, I'm scrolling through, and they have this lady who's like a mom. She's like, "Yo, you gotta watch this show." Last, so you go to the comments. She doesn't know it's a video game. So I'm scrolling down again, and the next person talking about it doesn't even know it's a video game. So there's people that are just discovering The Last of Us. They have no idea what it is. It's so crazy to me. I guess it's kind of like people who read the Game of Thrones books. And when everybody started talking about Game of Thrones, they're like, oh, yeah, we didn't fucking know what the Game of Thrones is. We fucking lived it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's weird to me to be in that position where I know what it is before other people do. And I know how good it's going to be. There's no doubt.
I don't know if, I don't know. Like, I think mom's going to, I think some of us I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I asked that question. Because one of the biggest things I think about, and I'm not going to go into, we'll do that next week. You know what we'll do is we'll do the games to movies next week. Our movies to games, the other way around. We're going to do we'll do the same segment next show, and we'll reverse it. We'll do the best games based off of movies. And we'll, because I'm doing it right now and I can't get enough. And so the thing is, I'm not sure, man, because you got two sets of people watching Last of Us. You got people that know the twist. There's at the end of that game, I'm not gonna like spoil it, because I think if you're listening, you haven't seen or haven't played the game, that it's gonna hit really hard. But the ending of Last of Us, the video game, there's like 3 or 4 swerves that happen, and I'm kind of spoiling it in a way, but you're not gonna see them coming. I promise you.
It makes me think, like, when they get to the end, are they going to do like the Game of Thrones and just make their own story from there?
Make it different. Like, because I don't know. I think they're so built in.
Because, I mean, what about Season 2, Season 3? If it's this big of a hit, this will be like Game of Thrones. They're going to want to keep producing it, but there's no storyline out there to go any further. So
that's an interesting point. So there's only 2 Last of Us games, and the second one got a lot of heat because of the storyline. I'm not going to get into why. You can look up why if you want on your own. But The Last of Us 2 was known as a good game, but a shit story. And I'm not going to say why, but there's something that happens at the very beginning that it throwed everybody of the first game off, and it just put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. So on Aaron's same front, are they going to that's a really good question, Aaron. Is The Last of Us going to go with the story, which is only one game, and then the second game is the only other material they have, and the second game got a lot of heat for what I'm not gonna go into why, but it got a lot of, and you can look it up. If you look it up, it's a huge controversy. You can find it easily on the internet. Are they gonna go that route, or are they gonna completely make their own story based off of what they set up? That's a really good question. And I will say this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but The Last of Us 2 got a lot of heat. I don't know if they're gonna go that route.
I think that what's gonna happen is they're gonna get down to they're going to have to change the story up, just like the Game of Thrones did. They're going to have to, because this is going to be such a huge money maker for HBO Max. And HBO Max, though, don't forget, they cut out a lot of stuff they were working on because they sold
a lot of shit. It's now Discovery. It's a whole thing. So
they bought what was the studio? They just bought one of the big studios and they cut out almost everything they were working on.
Well, I just told you, like, it was Discovery. So by the way, HBO Max is about to disappear. There's going to be
Supergirl got canceled. I mean, there's a lot of big, huge things that got canceled in the middle of making it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, not only that, they pulled off content. So what happened was Discovery Plus, and it was what happened. I'm telling you,
there was something else bigger than that. Hang on.
So HBO bought out Discovery, and they are now merging with HBO Max and completely killing the HBO Max brand. And in that whole thing, they're killing all these things that were being made.
Warner Brothers. They bought Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers Discovery.
So Discovery is okay, but Warner Brothers is bigger. That's the ones that worked on the movies and the shows and stuff. And they cut out, I think they cut out 70% of their production. They cut out because they were losing so much money.
But they also like canceled stuff off that was already on there, like on their streaming service. It's crazy.
They got rid of it because it was losing money.
But there's some stuff that like I used to like watching. It's just gone. You can't even find it anymore. It's the weirdest thing, dude. There's a whole list. Like if you want to go through, like there's just like I like animation. Like you're not into that, but there's like a whole bunch, and mostly the animation arm that was on HBO Max. I'll say one. One's called Close Enough. It was just animation. It was from the guy who did Regular Show, which was one of my favorite animated shows of all time on Cartoon Network. But it was like an adult version of it. It was like it was like, and you can't even find it. Like it was built for HBO Max. It was produced, And now that Discovery / Warner Brothers mergers happened, they just deleted all of it. It's gone. You can't even find it anymore. Like, at least put it somewhere. Like, why did y'all like delete stuff? So at the same time, what Aaron's saying, once the Warner Brothers, Discovery, HBO Max, and by the way, HBO Max is going to be gone. Like, they're getting rid of HBO Max. It won't be called that anymore.
It's going to be called something else. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, I think HBO Max was gaining leverage. Everybody knew about Game of Thrones, the new one, House of Dragon.
It's all about money when it comes down to it.
Yeah, it's all about money. It's all a business model. You're right, and it's AT&T's involved, and it's all this crazy stuff. But
they want to make money, and so that's what I'm saying. So they cut a lot of the fat out. They cut Supergirl, which was done. The movie was already filmed, and they cut it.
Yeah,
which is crazy. They didn't even really. They spent all that money to make that movie, and they just did not release it.
Who does that?
Which is the craziest thing ever.
At least put it out and see if you can get anything back.
It must have been that bad, bro. They didn't want the black eye. They want to be known for
reputation.
Just like Apple TV. When Apple TV puts something out, it's 99% chance it's going to be decent, and it's like a 90% chance it's going to be really good. And I think that's what you got to have quality, you know. And I think that's what hurt Netflix right now. Netflix spent all that money building all these shows, and they're losing money now because they just threw money out there to everybody to make stuff for them. And so I heard a statistic today that all projects in 2023, 71% of all projects across all platforms have been sliced. So they're only making 30% of the stuff they were supposed to be making for 2023. So whenever you get to see some on TV or a streaming service, there's about to be a lot less selection because they're cutting a lot of the fat out right now because people don't have money to spend on it. They're losing money left and right, and they spent too much money. You know.
No, you're right. I mean, there's a lot, and that's another thing with the streaming, the whole age of streaming right now. Aaron's right. They just started throwing money at shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're literally, and you can look up articles where Netflix was literally saying, we're just trying to throw money at everybody to see what's, like they said it, you know, to see what sticks. And like that's now starting to cost them. I will say, I will ask you something. I don't know, you probably haven't seen it, but it's like the viral sensation lately, and it hits my damn newsfeed and it pisses me off, and I feel gaslighted about it. But have you heard of the Wednesday shit? The Wednesday Addams.
Okay, so
by the way, we brought it up on this show. I know a lot about it.
We brought it up.
We brought it up on this show when they were about to release it.
I actually want to watch it to see what it's about. I can't get my wife to watch it though.
Dude, I'll tell you. So I tried. I put on 2 episodes, and you know what's funny is that Brienne from Tarth from Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm talking about like the big blonde. She's in it too. And then you have, you know, but dude, like maybe it's just not for me. I feel like, I'm not even lying, I feel like I was gaslighted by the media. Like she has this viral TikTok dance where like it's a whole thing, and like I'm like, this is the most forced thing I feel so gaslighted by the media because it pops up on my feed all the time. The viral Wednesday, and like she goes on Conan or the late night talk shows. I'm not gonna say Conan. I just dated myself, but
Conan. Yeah,
that's like he's been gone for 10 years, but she's going on Jimmy Fallon and all this shit, explaining how the viral sensation and it pops up on my feed like every other day. I'm like, okay, like, and I tried to watch it. I put on like 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but you know, it reminds me of you mentioned earlier, like Supergirl. Like there's these CW shows, like The Flash on CW. Yeah. That's what it reminded me of. I'm like, and I didn't even finish it. I just 2 episodes out. I was out. But it wasn't bad though. I need to go back and finish it honestly. But like it got renewed for season 2. But like that's the big one. And honestly, they're saying that Wednesday from Netflix is the most watched premiere on Netflix of all time. Now I don't know what that means.
I don't know if that's true.
They're saying
it can't be bigger than The Last of Us is going to be. It can't.
Well, they're saying it's bigger than Stranger Things was. So.
How?
I don't know.
Bullshit. They're lying.
I'll say
There's
this
no
too.
way.
So today,
there's fucking no way, bro.
It's Thursday, January 19th right now, and I guess it's the media TV episode. But the '90s show premiered today on Netflix. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
So then
I didn't know about it because it's on my. I have it on my thing to remind me. And it reminded me today that came on.
That '70s. That's that '90s show. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have. I mean, you have.
Yeah, you do.
You don't have,
they're all back.
Ashton Kutcher's not back there.
Yes, he is.
Because all I saw on the preview
He's on
was the dad and the mom.
So Ashton Kutcher, all of them are back except for the dude, that Hyde character, who got literally pent up for for domestic abuse. Yeah,
he got me too.
He was beating his girlfriend, so he's
Bruh,
the only one.
He got found. That dropped that case. They're trying to recharge him.
Really?
Yeah,
So,
it happened this week.
Masterson was his name, his last name. I don't know his first name, but that was him, and he's the only one that doesn't reappear. So what I think it is like they did the same shit with Full House. They made Fuller House, right? And they brought back the characters. They only had cameos. So, but all Eric Foreman, Donna, Jackie, Kelso, Fez, they're all in this show. But I think it's going to be cameos.
But the dad and the mom are
they're like the main
regulars,
focus,
right?
Well, that's the thing. So the whole idea was they all had kids in the '70s show. By the way, we're talking about the '90s show that night, which is the kids of that '70s show. So all the original characters got together in couples and they had their kids, and now you're looking at the teenage versions of their kids. But for some reason, they get sent back to the same exact basement of the '70s show in Wisconsin. On the grandparents, which are Kitty and Red. That's your two.
That's it. Kitty and Red.
Kitty and Red, same actors and everything. It's going to be based around them, and then the parents just kind of have cameos. But I heard it was a bait and switch where they only appear in the first episode. I'm really curious.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
But I mean, that's out.
I'm gonna watch
today.
it. I'm gonna watch it and see what it's about.
I absolutely will watch it. Yeah.
I'll give a report.
That's today. Yeah, we'll talk about that on the next show when we do the. We also do the reverse video game / movies. But yeah, so I mean, television. I'll say this again. I've said it on this show a few times. I feel like television is in its golden age, and movies kind of are not. Like everything right now in the movie theaters has been redone, and they're just rebooting everything. I guess they're kind of doing that.
Can you even think of one? Okay, first of all, before you go to this list next week, can you even think of one video game that transferred good into a movie? Because I know E.T. was not it. So what can you think of one?
No, once again, it's confusing. So E.T. was a movie, and it became a game. So,
right.
So
is there any good ones?
Any movie or TV show that became a game? Nah, off the top of my head, no.
Like Batman,
Roger Rabbit. That's what I'm gonna say.
Batman, I think, has done really well. I think.
Yeah, Batman. Okay, maybe Batman because of the Arkham. You had Arkham Asylum. Yeah, you
Spider-Man with the Miles Morales. Spider-Man's awesome.
You did have the
For the
Spider-Man.
PS5.
Yeah, no, the recent ones. Yeah, like. I think Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and the first Spider-Man for PS4.
But I mean, you can't really say that was a movie before. It was a comic before anything.
Yeah, that does count. So you have to almost cancel out comics. You're right. You almost have to. So it's almost just like pure game, like movies that became game. I mean, I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah, I don't think there is any.
Right now, I don't think so. I don't. And I asked my resident chatbot, GPT, and it gave me some weird answers, and I don't even want to talk about them because that's why I canceled this whole thing.
Well, ChatGPT is not up to date, so
no, it's 2 years old. But I'm just saying, like Jurassic Park was one it named. I was like, I don't remember that.
Jurassic Park had a game.
I will say though, it did apparently. One of the ones it did bring up, which was kind of interesting to me, was the Lord of the Rings. Remember the Lord of the Rings? They had like Shadow of what was it called? It was Lord of the Rings. It was actually really good. Lord of the Rings game. But that's also a book though. You know what I'm saying? Like it was called shit. I'm gonna lose this. It was Middle Earth or Return to Middle Earth. Here we go. So Lord of the Rings.
That was an awesome game.
Shadow of Mordor. No, it was. It was like you're like this crazy like Lord of the Rings character and you're going and killing all the trolls and demons. It's called Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor. That's the best one I can come up with off the top of my head.
Okay,
because it was really fucking good.
So it's gonna be such a shitty list. We'll go ahead and look at it real quick, just see what the top ones are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, it says Alien.
Alien versus Predator, maybe that.
Alien Isolation.
That's pretty good.
Mad Max, Marvel, Superman, Star Wars.
Boo. No.
Jurassic World Evolution.
Maybe Star. Okay, maybe Star Wars. Okay, what is it?
The best one ever was GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
007.
Oh yeah. Shit.
That was the best one ever.
Yeah, you don't. Okay,
right?
Aaron found the ultimate. I guess we're doing this now then. That is GoldenEye 007 for Nintendo 64, and I've already. You know how that's. I know you're right. I brought it up with this podcast already.
I know you did.
Because there has to be nothing that beats GoldenEye. That's the question. Which movie that was originally a movie that became a game is better than GoldenEye 64.
Blair Witch.
I don't think you have one. I think you just found the best one.
I'm looking at the top 10 right now.
Go ahead.
It's on here. They have number one Spider-Man, by the way.
Well, yeah,
no,
but I mean, it's
no,
not a
actually,
movie.
number one is Alien Isolation.
I don't believe that either.
2014, Sega released it. 2014 for Linux, Xbox 360, and PlayStation.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Alien Isolation. We gotta check it out.
I don't. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. Best games made for movies. Y'all give me, if you're out there. By the way, we still have a comment feature on MediaBroshow.com. If you know one that I can't think of, let us know on MediaBroshow.com. Click on episode 70 and let us know what you think the best video game that was made after a movie.
What about TV show? What about the Donald Duck with the guy with the gold? They can swim around the gold.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. DuckTales was another one.
DuckTales.
Yeah.
DuckTales.
Yeah. Now DuckTales.
That was the shit, right?
DuckTales was a great game. I mean, it still holds up. Like, that's a great one that you pulled out of your ass there. DuckTales was NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. One of the
way back.
DuckTales.
Way back.
Yeah, you went way back.
I mean, I went back probably 40 years on that, or 40 or 35 years at least on that.
Yeah, DuckTales has to be one of them. And like if you're going into TV shows, then there you go. So that's the. I'm looking at a list now. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna say Aaron mentioned one that's a good point. Star Wars has some really good video games, right?
Yeah, he did.
The Jedi Fallen Order is probably the best one, but they have a lot of lightsaber games. I mean, I don't know if you get any better than that. Than Star Wars, but DuckTales.
You know what? I still wish that there's still not an ultimate Star Wars. There's a lot of really good ones, but I would love to see one just take you through like the whole movie,
Man.
like a game. How badass would that be?
You know, it's funny that Star Wars, but Star Wars Episode 3 with Anakin when he turned bad. You remember that?
Yeah.
There's a game based on that, and you play through the whole movie. And dude, I played it on the I'll remember this because I hacked my Xbox back then. It was the original Xbox, like the Xbox, not Xbox 3. There was a game called Star Wars Episode 3, and it
was like the size of a suitcase.
It was. It was literally a suitcase, the Xbox. But I hacked it, and it's one of the games I played the most when I did that was Star Wars Episode 3 on Xbox. That was really good, and it was literally the movie. Like, you played through the movie, you had the lightsaber battles. I'm gonna say that was one of the best ones. But I guess we're just gonna do this now.
Hey, speaking of Star Wars, though, you know, Mandalorian, the third season's about to come out.
Yeah, and that's where I mentioned that Pedro Pascal somehow did that and Last of Us at the same time. I did read some stuff where Pedro Pascal is the main character in Joel in The Last of Us, which we started this whole episode with. But he also is the main character in The Mandalorian. He's in the thing is though, he's in the suit, and he doesn't really have to be there.
Right.
So there's a lot of like controversy. Is he actually in that show?
Yeah.
Or is he just zooming? No. It's come out, and I can post in the news articles. It's come out that he hasn't been, and it's basically he's been zooming his voice into the suit, and every once in a while he shows up and films a scene or two. So they're saying that
hey, voiceovers count as actors, bro. It always has been.
Yeah,
that way.
and that's what he's doing. So the Pedro Pascal and the Mandalorian, they're saying he's not going to take his helmet off in the third season that much because he was doing Last of Us. So I'm curious to see if that's actually true. And they're going to make sure that he's not going to take his helmet off.
The Disney Plus shows coming out for Star Wars are saving the Star Wars because people hated the movies. I mean, don't be wrong. Like, the last three movies that they came out with were pretty good.
Yep.
And the original three were awesome. The previous three were terrible. We all know that. That's how majority of fans feel, right? But the Mandalorian and then Andor is fucking amazing. And then they got the Jedi one coming out with the girl with the horns. That's coming out soon. What's that called?
I can't say it. I'm gonna try to say it, and I'm gonna completely mutilate it. But it's
that's gonna be a badass one too, bro.
Ayahuasca or something like that.
No.
Yeah, it is. It's it's Ayahuasca. I don't know. I can't pronounce
anyway,
it.
that one's gonna be that Jedi's story is gonna be amazing too. So they're actually saving the franchise, I think.
Disney, a lot of people gave Disney shit for buying Star Wars, and like, you know, Lucasfilms and stuff. But I think Disney is definitely reviving it because We've had
Star
this-
Wars would be done. They would be done right now at this point. They didn't buy them.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no doubt.
They gave them a platform to do what they wanted to.
Yeah, and then, like, and not only that, they get the Mandalorian.
Rogue One is good.
Rogue One was really good. The Mandalorian really revived everything, I think, with Star Wars. And that was because they gave Jon Favreau the keys to the kingdom. And if you know who Jon Favreau is, he's the one who literally launched the Marvel Universe with Iron Man. So when Iron Man... So you had all this shit going on where, like, Marvel was all over the place. They had these Hulk movies. They had Spider... You know. So they gave Jon Favreau the keys. And he said, look, can you... And Jon Favreau single-handedly rebooted the Marvel franchise with the Iron Man movie with Tony Stark as Robert Downey Jr. That was Jon Favreau. He directed and wrote that. He completely launched the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I find it interesting because did you know that, like, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back? Did you know that? And that's a whole controversy right now in the if you want to go in the comic industry. So
wait, what'd you say now? What'd you say?
In Endgame, the biggest, and I'm not going to spoil it, but I mean, come on now.
You can't spoil it now. Come on, everybody.
Okay, Endgame ends with Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark and Iron Man killing Thanos, but then he dies. And the whole thing is Tony Stark's dead. And even in the new Spider-Man movie, Homecoming or whatever, Far From Home, Tony Stark's dead. And Robert Downey Jr. retired Tony Stark. He's like, I'm not coming back to the character and all this shit.
What else is he doing?
He's doing it. So he rebooted.
I know. What else?
Yeah.
I'm saying, what else is he
Yeah, that's a good
people
point.
do right now, right?
That's a good point.
He wants a paycheck, bro. Iron Man's a fucking gold mine, bro.
So they can't, and he's the best Iron Man. I mean, let's be
No doubt.
real. So they came to him. The next Marvel movie is gonna be with not the War Machine character, which is like Iron Man's compatriot. It's like basically the other version of Iron Man, and Don Tweedle, what's his name, Tweedle, is gonna play him.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna give him Iron Man. I really thought they were because he was War Machine. Is that right?
Yeah, well, that's the next movie. It's called Armor Wars or something like that. So the next Marvel movie is gonna be based on War Machine as the main Iron Man character, and Tony Stark / Robert Downey is gonna reprise his role. And that just, like, when that came out a couple weeks ago, people like lost their shit because they're like, he was dead. Like, you're not supposed to bring him back, bro.
Whatever. It's different universes, bro.
Yeah, we're in that weird...
Different universes. Come on now. I mean, you already know that there's multiverse out there.
I mean, I guess, yeah, and that's what they're doing. And
Yeah.
the funny thing about that is, like, did you hear about? Okay, so I guess this is the whole show. It's funny. I opened up 10 links about ChatGPT, like all this like current news. I'm not gonna get to any of them, but like
this is fun though, right? It's off the cuff, right?
It is. And that's what our show is the best. But when you were talking about the different universes and stuff. Deadpool 3 is coming out. Have you heard anything about that?
Oh,
Aaron?
I cannot wait.
Have you heard anything about it though?
No, I have not.
So speaking of Tony Stark / Robert Downey Jr. that retired, who else retired from the Marvel Universe? Do you remember? It was what's his name that plays? Oh, it's Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, when he made the last Wolverine movie, which was amazing, by the way. It was called Logan. By the way, if you haven't seen the movie Logan, go watch that. Bro. So good. That was his last.
Wolverine's one of my favorite fucking Marvel characters, by the way.
He's one of the best.
X-Men, bro. X-Men doesn't get enough fucking justice, bro. X-Men is fucking shit, and Wolverine is the man, bro.
X-Men's amazing.
So he left. Is he coming back? Don't tell me he's coming back.
He's coming back.
He retired too.
So the whole thing about Deadpool's, do you know? You probably don't. Who Deadpool's biggest rival is Wolverine.
Yeah, I got it.
So yes, Hugh Jackman retired from Wolverine's character after the movie Logan. He said, "I'm not doing." And you can look up the news articles. It's interesting.
Yeah, but is he coming back in Deadpool or is he coming back?
Yeah, Deadpool 3. They're already filming. They've already made. You know how Ryan Reynolds makes like these meme commercials and shit. So him and Hugh Jackman, like, this is an interesting thing if you haven't heard this before. So Hugh Jackman, who plays Wolverine, Hugh Jackman's hugely talented, by the way. He's an amazing actor. So is Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, exactly. Shout out both of them. But and if you haven't looked this up, if you haven't even heard what I'm about to say, you need to go check this out because it's hilarious. They have like an ongoing feud for the last 10 years, and it's not real in the media.
Correct.
So they have done this whole thing where they hate each other, and it's hilarious. And the biggest update to that was that Ryan Reynolds got nominated for a musical of something. I can't remember what he did. I'm not going to look it up. So Ryan Reynolds got nominated for an Oscar or whatever. for the last film he did that happens to be a musical. And Hugh Jackman did it with The Greatest Showman on Earth, right? If you haven't seen The Greatest Showman on Earth, go check that movie out.
It's good too. Yeah,
it's amazing, dude. And Hugh Jackman he literally sings all those songs in it, right? And so he won an Oscar for that.
Dude's got pipes, bro.
He's got pipes. And so Ryan Reynolds got a week or two ago got nominated for an Oscar for his musical, and Hugh Jackman put out a statement on the internet saying, talking to the Oscar Academy, he's like, please don't give Ryan Reynolds the credit. Like, please don't. Please, I'll never hear the end of it. And he's saying, especially because I'm working with him in Deadpool 3, please do not give him that award while I'm finishing this movie.
But it's just advertising for Deadpool 3 is all
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a vital
100%.
thing. Oh, yeah. But so the fact is, Ryan Reynolds got nominated for an Oscar for a musical for best like composition of song, and Hugh Jackman's already won it. He's like, I'll never be able to live that down. Like, he will not ever let me live down that he won the musical award too. And so the point of the story is Wolverine he's coming back as Wolverine. He said he never would again. He said he never would do it. He's all in the media saying it years ago. He's coming back to do Deadpool 3. I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
Have you ever heard of something called a Rebel Moon?
I have not. What is that?
Zack Snyder's doing it. It's a Rebel Moon. It's a show he's doing in Rebel Moon. It's coming out on Netflix in December, and it's supposedly it's supposed to be really good. It's the movie is set in a colony on the edge of the galaxy that is threatened by armies of tyrannical region. It's basically like a Star Wars type movie, bro, right?
Sounds cool.
Yeah,
no, I haven't heard of that at all.
Everybody's hyping it up like it's going to be the shit. So that might be something to look out for towards the end of the year.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of good stuff going on. I mean, the thing is like when there's a lot of stuff like with the world stuff that's kind of weird, but then the entertainment industry, a lot of times I think it's the stalemate, and they just kind of keep doing. Especially when you're rebooting all this stuff. I don't like the reboots, which is interesting because we're gonna watch the '90s show, and I feel like that's a reboot. But you know,
because this is what they're saying about Rebel Moon. They're saying it's clear that Snyder is a Star Wars fan, as the upcoming movie appears to take a lot of inspiration from the hugely popular franchise, according to Hollywood Reporter. Snyder first pitched Rebel Moon to Lucasfilms as a potential Star Wars movie over 10 years ago before Disney acquired the production company in 2012. Snyder has since signed a first-look deal with Netflix to make the movie.
I was wondering what Zack Snyder was up to because he kind of fell off after the Snyder cut of the Justice League. You remember that? So we got Rebel Moon.
He told the publication that he hopes Rebel Moon turns into a massive IP and universe that can be built on. So they're gonna be going after like something like Star Wars type stuff there. Zack Snyder's amazing, so it should be great.
I like Zack Snyder. Anything he does, and he got a lot of shit for the first Justice League because there was the whole thing where I think his daughter committed suicide. Not to bring the show down.
It was his son, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, it was like one of his kids. I'll just put it to you that way.
Bro, but I mean, just to show you how good he is, look at the original compared to the Snyder cut. How much better.
Yep.
And everything was.
And by
everything
the way,
about the whole movie was. It's a whole different movie. Same movie, but different movie.
You got to give Warner Brothers / HBO, whatever, Max credit that they let him come back and finish it. You know, they already had released it. They
fired him right after that.
They fired him. It was a whole thing, and they let him come back and do it. And you know, like it. Everybody says that anybody I know that watches the two, it's way better than the original. Like the Snyder cut is like 10 times. And
I hated the original. And I loved this. So that shows you what it did.
Well, he separated. One of the things he did is he separated the Justice League into chapters, and I think that had because the original Justice League, they jumped around. And the problem with the Justice League, you had all these characters. You have Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, all these people, the Flash, and like it just jumped around, and it wasn't cohesive. Like it was just all over the place. And
the graphics, the fucking CGI was 1,000 times better.
It was shit. And then he came in and he was like, all right. And so he separated it into acts. So he's like, this is the Batman act, and it showed you all and then here's the Superman act. You know, and here's the flat, and then at the end he brought them all back together. And like Aaron said, like the biggest thing was Steppenwolf or the villain was way worse CGI. Like he brought this villain in, and like he had a vision. I don't even understand how this happened. Like you had the main villain of the show of the movie Justice League and they did a shitty job. Once they fired him, whatever, or they let him go, he comes back in and just kind of does better CGI, and the villain's like 10 times better. Like, what were they thinking? I don't understand, man. But yeah,
just think about Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out next month.
I can't wait. Look, I love Ant-Man.
Actually, it's pretty cool.
I love all the Ant-Man movies. I like the quantum universe. There's a lot of quantum shit going on in my life right now that I don't even want to get into right now. But when I hear quantum anything, I'm into
Quantumania,
and the quantum
Guardians of the Galaxy in May.
I can't wait for that. That's James Gunn. Oh, that's another good point. God, this show's all over the place, but
we're just talking about
James
movies,
Gunn,
TV.
who did Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the director and writer of all the 3 of the movies at this point. He got fired for some stupid tweets he made like 20 years ago by Marvel and Disney. Then they hired him back because he just shut up. He did the smart thing. He just didn't say anything. Yeah. And then so they realized that he made them like $1 billion. So like when it all blew over, they hired him back, right? In the meantime, he did the Suicide Squad, if you remember, on HBO. The Suicide Squad. It wasn't the original one. He made the good one. But what they just did, you know how what's his name, Kevin Feige basically owns the Marvel universe. It's like one guy who directs the whole Marvel universe. They gave the same role to James Gunn for DC. That's huge news, by the way. And he's sitting there and he's saying he let go Henry Cavill from Superman's role. He's basically.
I know. We need to talk about
this,
dude. We need to talk about this, bro.
I know.
So Henry Cavill turned down a lot of shit to be Superman for the new Superman. And then they said, I don't fucking want you no more. They cut him.
Gone.
They cut him.
Gone. And he was the Witcher, too. He left the Witcher show. Did you know about that?
Yes.
So he was the Witcher. He's the main guy. He's Geralt from Rivia. He's the Witcher, Geralt. He left that show because he said that they weren't going the direction of actually the source material. He was the main character. I don't know how they're going to do that, brother. Like, season 3 of The Witcher is going to have Henry Cavill as Geralt, the main character of The Witcher. And then somehow they're going to ditch him completely in season 4.
It's going to crash.
I don't even... Yeah, that show's
I haven't
done.
even watched it. I watched the first couple
good.
episodes, and I know.
Yeah,
I know it is. And it's on my list. I just haven't had time to get to it.
But so James Gunn, who's the Guardian of the Galaxy 3, which Aaron just brought up, like that's gonna. I can't. When's that coming out? Did you have it in front of you? When's the Guardians of the Galaxy?
May 7th.
Okay, in May. So that's gonna be amazing because that's probably my favorite Marvel property that they put out, the Guardians of the Galaxy, because they play old music on cassette tapes and shit like that, and like just the whole thing. Like you had Drax, David Bautista, the wrestler. And I mean, you had Chris Pratt.
They fired him. They just fired him.
Yeah, I saw that too. Well, that's the thing.
He was like, it was like stupid. I didn't want to do it anyway.
He was ready to be done. Yeah, he's like, fuck
yeah,
that.
Right, bro. Yeah. What about the Marvels? You know anything about the Marvels?
I don't know anything about that.
It's coming out in November. That's their big movie this year is the Marvels.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Yeah, so I don't know where Marvel's going.
Blade. They're bringing Blade back.
Yeah, without Wesley Snipes, they're gonna.
Yeah, but it's got to be without him, bro. They got to reboot it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you almost have to have him hand off to the new one though. How do you not have Wesley Snipes? Like,
I'm sure.
I think that fails just because of that. I'm calling it now. I'm just saying. Wesley Snipes was Blade, dude. You got to at least bring him in to hand it off to the next guy. Like, you know how they
Blade
do that?
Blade is one of my favorite vampire movies of all time, bro.
Oh, good, dude. I haven't seen that in a long time, and that would be a good one.
I don't know. I just think whenever Marvel entered the Avengers, bro, I just think that they would take a big downturn. They didn't have any plan.
Well, after that, like, what were they going to do after that?
So you said they're bringing back Iron Man. They're bringing back Captain America, but it's going to be the other guy, the new guy.
Yep.
But that movie's coming out next year too, 2024. Though you're talking about a whole other year to wait for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but so you know what's interesting to me? Okay, so the movie's called Avengers: Secret Wars, and they're saying they're bringing Robert Downey Jr. in. What that tells me, and like we just said, they didn't have any plan after Avengers, like the Endgame. Once that came out, they had they didn't have it. So
they tried to do the Eternals, which it flopped.
Yeah, they had the Eternals, and then they
tried to go the Eternals route, and it did not work.
They had Captain Marvel. Remember that was kind of shit. That was like so they have to bring back Downey as Tony Stark. So that just tells you everything and that's a huge. By the way, that's Disney too. Like Disney owns that. They didn't have any plans after Endgame, dude. They had an idea, and just none of it caught on. Like nobody cares about Captain
Well,
Marvel.
the thing about, like what we were talking about Star Wars earlier is that Disney Plus saved Star Wars by their series, and I really think that Marvel has a chance to do that with because Loki is coming back out at the end of the year.
Loki was amazing. Yeah.
But I mean, they could do so much more with that, and they just really haven't had the same game plan as say Star Wars has. And when Star Wars kind of got stale, they had the new stuff to prop it up, and I don't think the Marvel's universe has done that because it's the same thing. It's all in the same universe, right?
Yep.
So they could have easily came out and had some better series. They tried with Moon Knight. They tried with that.
Moon Knight was pretty good.
It was good. It was good, but
it was pretty good.
It's
Scarlet
not
Witch, the Scarlet Witch, that one.
It's not Andor, which Andor for Star Wars
Andor.
is actually
finished it.
Reaffirming the freaking Star Wars universe. I mean, because Andor to me is probably the best series takeoff of a movie series ever.
I've only watched one
really
episode
good,
of that.
bro. Oh my god!
I just started it before I left.
What are you doing?
Because
with
I had a lot going on. So
you gotta watch it.
So like
it's on Netflix too. Netflix.
It's on Disney Plus.
I don't understand. I know. But I don't understand. Netflix picked it up.
Did they?
So it was so popular. Or Hulu. Hulu, I think. Yeah.
Well, Hulu. Disney owns Hulu, so that kind of.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's such a big hit. They
way.
pulled it off. They added it from Disney Plus and they put it on Hulu.
Okay, because that's the thing is I don't have a Disney. I canceled my Disney Plus because nothing was on there, and I didn't want to like renew it just for Andor. You're telling me it's on Hulu right now?
Yeah, I saw it. Let me double check that.
Yeah, that's crazy because
I saw it, bro.
I put on.
I was like, why is this on here? It's just Disney Plus.
That's weird.
And I had to think. The only thing I think of it's so good. They want everybody to watch it.
Yeah, well, I've heard everybody has told me that they watched Andor. Everybody's told me it's like the adult Star Wars, which is kind of like more gritty and not so kiddie like.
It feels like the original Star Wars.
Yeah, and I think I did watch one episode, and I was blown away. It's incredible. I will finish it. That's the next one I'm watching. You know what I did? I did a 180 and finished this last season of The Boys on Amazon Prime because I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
That was insane, by the way. The Homelander saga and like the thing about The Boys, like the adult superhero show, is that it's very gory. So it's like guts flying everywhere, like every episode. It's crazy. But so I was gonna watch that first because I was well behind that. And then I was going to watch Andor, so that's my next one up.
Yeah, you picked the wrong one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, The Boys is okay. I mean, I wish, I don't know. They ain't got nothing else with that show. It was okay. I liked it enough. Andor is the next one I watch. I'll probably catch mostly up by the time you hear this next show. So, yeah, so this...
Okay, so it's saying Hulu subscribers are now able to stream the first 2 episodes of Andor, which is weird, right?
Why would they do that?
They're trying to hook you.
Yeah, they're gonna pull you in and then make you. Well, that's why I said Disney owns Hulu. So that's interesting to me.
Huh.
But yeah, so shit, man. This was You want to go over my headlines quickly or not? You don't. Bam Margera. I'm gonna go. Let's do a flash news update. Flash news flash.
Breaking news.
Media brothers. Breaking
news update by Andrew. Go.
Media Brothers news flash. Bam Margera was pronounced dead, but he did not. But he made it through pneumonia. He apparently had COVID, and he had 10 to 12 flatlines in the hospital. Completely pronounced dead. He made it out. He's on Steve-O's podcast. It's a great podcast, by the way. Online
Does
mental.
He sound drunk on there?
No, he just sounds like he's got Bam Margera and Steve-O on the podcast. Imagine.
Does Bam sound drunk on there?
No, he sounds well. I mean, he's kind of like
sound cracked out.
Do you remember that movie? I know you do, but Half Baked with Jim Brewer's character. He sounds like he's stoned at all time. Yeah. That's kind of like Bam Margera. So I don't know. I mean, he doesn't sound like he's drunk
have to
me.
Listen to it. Where do you listen to that at? On
Steve-O's podcast. Just you'll
on what? Where on anything?
YouTube.
Okay,
yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, Steve-O, Bam Margera episode. It's like last week. Online mental health company. Next headline. Online mental health company uses ChatGPT, the AI bot, to help respond to users in an experiment. It raises ethical concerns between healthcare and technology, and they got
probably works there. Works.
It did. And then a lot of people that are in the medical industry said they were unethical, but it actually worked. But they
probably worked better than them, to be honest with you.
They got a lot of question about it. I found this one funny. Next one, leg lengthening. Remember this? This is a throwback to one of our old shows. Leg lengthening surgery. changed my life. This dude spent $27,000 to make him 5 inches taller, and he said
5 inches.
5 inches changed his entire life. And he now feels more charismatic, and he's whatever. That's
it only cost him $10 million to do it.
I thought that was funny.
$10 million in 5 years of fucking stretching your legs.
Yeah, and he was in a wheelchair. Like by the way, the headline, he's in a literal wheelchair, like with a he's struggling.
Changed my life.
Very.
I gotta have
painful.
somebody push me around everywhere now.
For the next 9 months of his life,
I got to use a ramp wherever I go. That changed my life.
I can't get McDonald's. Microsoft next one. Microsoft, which I find hilarious because Microsoft said early on that it would never have anything after Windows 10. Well, I'm on Windows 11 right now on my work computer, and now Microsoft teases Windows 12 at CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show 2023.
They're having so many problems with the ones they're putting out. I know what they're doing.
I'm not a big Microsoft fan, but I will give them a shout out. They have come a long way, and Windows 11 is really good. I'm just going to say that.
I will say this: they put in an offer to buy 49% of ChatGPTs. By the way,
Microsoft has been an early funder of the GPT OpenAI
but
project.
They're trying to buy the whole company.
They want to integrate it into their products like Windows and shit.
Yep.
And Microsoft Office. Yeah, so that's a big deal. So that's one headline. Next one, Sony and Honda. Sony and Honda put PlayStation 5. Remember when you couldn't get a PlayStation 5? Remember when we couldn't find one?
Yeah.
Now they're putting them in cars.
What?
Sony and Honda put PlayStation 5 in cars to compete with Tesla. So if
Tesla, you can put your whole your whole Steam library.
Steam's in Tesla. So Sony is putting PS5 into Hondas, which I find hilarious. That was at CES 2023.
When would you ever play that?
I don't know.
I guess if you're on the road a lot, maybe.
Maybe if you're Uber and you want to have your dude in the back playing Last of Us.
Who's going to spend hours in there playing a game in a fucking car?
I don't know. That's a good. Why is Steam in there? I could see
a Honda of all things. It's not even a big car. You cramped it you're shoulder to shoulder trying to fucking play a video game with somebody in a little Honda Civic or something. Come on. What's the biggest car? The Accord? Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know what Honda. Maybe the Pilot, the SUV. Other than that, I don't know what they're doing. Let me read it. Let me see if anything jumps out. No, that's
a fail.
Wait, hold on. What actually means that anyone's guess, but this is from the article. I can't wait to get T-boned by some jackass playing Uncharted on the highway or mining Bitcoin in the metaverse.
Hey, you know what it is? It's because when self-driving comes out, you're going to be looking for shit to do while your fucking car's driving.
Now that's actually a great
point. So they're trying to get on board early. I think that's what's probably going on, especially with Elon.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. What if you're... Yeah, I think you might be right. Maybe they're... You know what? You're right. They're preparing for the future. Right. It's gotta be. Yeah. It's gotta be. I don't
going cross country. But you can just bring a PlayStation, plug it into the fucking outlet, and play it there, right?
You can put an inverter
for your kids in the back seat.
Cigarette lighter in the inverter, and you can play anything you want. Go ahead and bring
just carry it on your back with a battery and walk around town and play.
Bring a full TV in your backpack.
Yeah.
I have a video. I'm gonna have to post it.
Oh, I did hear. Apple's AR glasses are on hold indefinitely.
Oh shit! Really?
Now the AR, they have the AR, not the glasses, but the mask that they're doing. They're doing the what I'm saying, they're doing the goggles, the Apple goggles. Those are coming out in spring still, and they're gonna be $3,000.
Yeah, nobody's buying that shit.
No, but it's AR and VR, so it's gonna be a combination of both. But the AR glasses that they're trying to make super small.
Yeah,
they're having problems with them and they can't figure it out, so they're putting on hold definitely. That was yesterday's news, by the way.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So the other part of that, so Apple's kind of putting that on halt. That's pretty big news, I think. PS5.
Yeah, they can't make them smaller. They can't get the technology into a pair of glasses.
And that's what Aaron, which by the way, this is an ongoing joke on this podcast, made fun of me for putting a cannonball on your head early on. A bowling ball, I'm sorry.
Fighter helmet.
Fighter pilot helmet. That was Media Brothers from 10 years ago, but that's hilarious that it's come full circle and Apple had to cancel their shit because of that. I found that interesting. And I will say the PS5 VR, the PS2 VR for the PlayStation 5 is getting a lot of hype. And they're saying it is a huge bargain and it's going to change the VR industry. We'll see.
It's got a small library there, but today there's only going to be a few games that are going to be for it when it launches. So which is sad They should be spending this time on producing some software also for the damn thing.
Agree.
You know, but I mean, we'll
yeah.
see how it plays out.
So they're saying the biggest thing I've been bringing up CES 2023 in these quick news articles was this consumer electronics show. It's like E3 for video games, just for electronics. Yeah. So one of the biggest things this year, but they pretty much said that wearable technology has exhausted. That was like the next thing. You had iPhones and all that shit. And you had VR. Then you had watches, like Apple Watch, Google Pixel Watch. You had Fitbits and all that. They're saying they exhausted that. So the next, and I'm not making this up. It's gonna sound like I'm making this up, but
contact lenses. That's what I'm going for.
Well, no. The next big thing is urine analysis. So there was like 10 to 20 companies trying to promote piss analysis or urine, if your pee-pee. They're trying for health, like
stuff?
Yeah, they're saying like you're gonna have a health, and I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. It sounds like I'm making a joke. The biggest technology in CES 2023 was piss stuff. So you take that for what it. I'm not gonna get into that, but you take that for what it is.
Okay.
One of the other biggest things in CES.
I'm not excited about that. So.
Yeah, me neither. One of the other things that Sony came out with this Project Leonardo, which they're calling it. They have actually the first piece of Sony gaming hardware specifically built for people with disabilities or motor control like problems, people that can't really move their arms and hands. So PlayStation 5 is coming out with a whole controller for people that really can't move their hands, almost like it's reading your eyeballs. And it sits on a tripod. You should look it up. It's pretty cool. It's called Project Leonardo. If you're listening out there, I'm going through these quick.
I'm not looking it up, guys.
But it's very cool. So I think that's very cool. Yeah, you know. I'm going through all these. So Microsoft's. Oh yeah. So Microsoft has a new zero-shot text-to-speech model that can quote, and I will say this, quote, duplicate anyone's voice in a matter of 3 seconds. So you know how AI like trains itself on language models, and they know that we already know that audio AI can basically fake people's voices. They're saying,
can they fake our voices? Is the question on the podcast.
Well, that's another thing I want to talk to you off air about, by the way. You know the stuff I do the AI intros with, and I'm not going to try to get behind the scenes.
Yeah, they're weak, but yeah.
We have enough now of data. We can feed our own voices, and I kind of don't want to give this away.
Well, don't give it away.
Okay. Okay, we can. I'm going to talk about that later.
So, are you saying that this thing can learn the way
3 seconds.
I talk in 3 seconds?
3 seconds. That's Microsoft's technology. So they provided some samples.
When can I do that?
Let's say it's since release. Let's see if there's any kind of dates on here. It just says they can. And look, there's a whole article. It doesn't say. They just unveiled their technology. But basically, if you give this thing 3 seconds of somebody talking, by the way, it's using DALL-E 2, which is interesting. It's based off the DALL-E 2 AI model and DALL-E 1 and personalized audio decoder. Microsoft is claiming they can completely replicate your voice and make it text to speech with only 3 seconds feeding into it. I think that's huge, by the way.
I don't know how, but okay.
All right, so the next episode, Do Not Pay, is a company that offers lawyers $1 million. So they're offering lawyers $1 million to let its AI argue before the Supreme Court in their place. It's using ChatGPT or OpenAI's GPT-3 AI ChatGPT bot. The same thing. And they're saying that they're going to offer lawyers $1 million to say that they're going to be better in real time in a Supreme Court appearance than the lawyers do. That's just an offer.
100% will be better. 100%.
So that's the. I had a lot of ChatGPT stuff. That was one of them. A 54.
Hey, real quick, we can borrow on that.
Go ahead.
Have you heard about ChatGPT version 4?
Yeah, of course I have. So here's what's going to happen with Chat. I'll do a side note here. I'm a ChatGPT freak. The next thing is coming out. Right now, ChatGPT is based off the GPT, which is the text model they use, 3.5. So you had, before ChatGPT came out, the GPT text model, you could feed it one prompt and it would give you the same thing Chat does, but you can't talk back to it. So the regular GPT model was only 3. When ChatGPT came out, it was 3.5. It was a little bit better, and then you could talk back to it and ask it questions. The next model is GPT-4 model. And with Chat, I've already filled out the survey myself, and I'll send it to you if you want, Aaron, after the show. But you can fill out a survey, and you can get on the wait list for the pro version of ChatGPT. So you can pay for it. It's going to be a subscription model, basically. When they release that, you're going to pay for it now, and then you're going to get the GPT-4 model, right? So all that is is basically the next step up. So all this stuff that you're seeing with ChatGPT and
we
all
talked about this in the last episode. That was
Yeah.
going to happen. It's crazy that it happened right after that.
it's coming, and it's going to be the chat.
So what is it going to do? Is it going to put images into it also?
I don't
That's my
know.
question.
It can kind of do that now.
Kind of, but not really.
Kinda, but yeah, not really. No, it's just gonna be that much better. I will say the OpenAI.
There's gotta be something to it. There's gotta be something more to that.
The CEO of OpenAI is telling people, do not think it's gonna be some huge update. He's saying, temper your expectations. ChatGPT 4 is not gonna be the huge leap, but before that, everybody was saying it's gonna change the world as much as the first ChatGPT did. So basically, what's gonna happen is they're gonna have a pay model. You're gonna be able to pay for it, and it's gonna be way better than it is now. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, so here is. I'm reading. Go ahead. I'm reading an article right now that's saying.
No, I'm just gonna keep going. So you're good.
Go ahead.
If you want to read it, I'm just gonna
No,
keep
go ahead.
going. I don't want
I'm
to
gonna
get
read it
out.
to myself, and I'm gonna see if there are any highlights in it.
All right, so a 54,000-pound NASA satellite from 38 years ago fell down from space. I think that was pretty interesting. It's
Nice.
right up our alley. It was 3 decades in space, almost 4. Department of Defense confirmed the 54,000-pound satellite re-entered Earth's atmosphere over the Bering Sea. Basically, it was the ERBS satellite. It was a climate and weather.
God.
It was a climate and weather satellite launched in 1984 and just crashed down. So there you go. That's another one. What you got?
The company is claiming that ChatGPT 4 will have 100 trillion parameters, as opposed to the 175 billion parameters that ChatGPT 3 uses.
So it's that much more. You're gonna be able to do that.
1,000 times more information than what it currently does.
That just blew me away.
100 trillion compared to 175 billion.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be able to figure out more shit. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
It changed the world. I'll say this again because we talked about it last episode because it just came out. It's interesting that the last episode we did ChatGPT, and that was basically the whole episode. We did a whole. Remember, we did the chat. We did my whole shave my head scenario and the ChatGPT. So the last episode that you've listened to, it just came out, and now they're saying it's going to be 1,000 times better very soon, and you're basically gonna have to pay for it.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, which I'm gonna write
A lot of people
right
are
away.
gonna pay for it.
Right away, just tell me what to pay. My last story is interesting. A brilliant green comet that has not passed by the Earth
Saw this.
in 50,000 years is about to pass by. It's actually entering this. You kind of go outside and see it once it comes closer. It's very cool looking. I'm gonna post the image because I got one really on in the podcast channel on MediaBroshow.com. Podcast listeners.
It's the first time it's passed this close in our lifetime, right? Is that what it's saying?
50,000 years. So.
Yeah.
And it's very cool and pretty. But the cool thing is there's a comet, and anyway, it's gonna be the first week of February. So February 2nd, the green comet's passing by Earth, and you can actually go outside and look at it. It's called Comet C2022 E3 ZTF. So that's what it's called. And it will pass by Earth's atmosphere on the first week of February. It's already entering now. Like if you had a telescope, you can kind of see it now. I think that's a big deal because like comets don't come around often. One of the things I remember when my dad was around was the Hale-Bopp comet, and he used to talk about that. The Halley's comet too, yeah. But the Hale-Bopp, Halley's comet, and like the Hale-Bopp comet was like some cult like worshipped it or something. So
yeah, so that guy, they had that whole people that killed themselves.
Yeah. So
they all killed themselves to ride on the comet. They all wore those Nikes. Remember that?
Yeah, dude. Yes, that's why I was bringing it up. Like there was a whole cult behind that. And so this one is mass
suicide.
So this one's mass suicide's coming. And
they drink some Kool-Aid or something.
Yeah, Kool-Aid or green, whatever. It's green, so something green, like maybe green drink or something, like maybe some green like health drink. But here's the thing: so it lost its tail. This is interesting to me. So this comet story has been in the news for a couple of weeks, but today, 7 hours ago, it lost its tail. So imagine a comet. It lost its tail because of the sunstorm. Remember these solar storms I keep talking about?
Yeah.
So one of these happened in the vicinity of the comet that was hit, and there's no longer a tail. All of a sudden, the tail was gone because of the solar storm.
It'll come back.
I don't know. There's a whole story about it. If you want to look it up, the comet.
Yeah, but the tail basically is just the gases leaving the comet. So the sun probably zapped it out, but the comet's still moving around. So once it gets further away from the sun, that tail is gonna reform. If I had to guess.
There's a picture about it. I'll even read this article. So this is from space.com. It reveals what astronomers call a disconnection event, essentially weakening in the comet's signature tail, which makes it look as if the tail was breaking off. The disruption in the tail is likely caused by the turbulent space weather, blah, 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 solar wind storms, or bursts, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say if it's going to get it back. It's interesting. Oh, the comet's tail is made of vaporized material and dust. Yeah, it might be gone, dude.
Well, it says it appears. It says it appears to be gone.
It appears to be gone, but this is interesting too.
That made it still there.
But here's the thing: a comet's tail is made. The tail itself is vaporized material and dust released by icy bodies when it gets closer to the sun. Mm-hmm. While the comet itself is usually more than a few miles wide, a tail can stretch for hundreds of thousands of miles across the inner solar system, providing the unusual celestial spectacle that gets astronomers buzzing. It does not say if it's coming. I would really like to know.
It will definitely come back because
I'm not going to dig in.
That ice is still going to. That ice, when it starts getting around the sun, the ice is still going to trail off.
Yeah.
And the dust is going to trail off from the comet as it moves. It just got zapped.
It just got zapped out of existence. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's pretty interesting, and I don't know if that's the time, a sign of the times where we have all this technology and everybody's looking and everything. But I just find it. I don't.
We're living in. You know what I mean? We're living in a. We're not even living in reality. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know that.
We haven't had that show yet, by the way.
Don't even get me started with the simulation crap. I can go on for another hour of the last like few months of what has happened to me, and people listening out there that I know that are listening know what I'm talking about. And their synchronicity / entanglement. By the way, the Nobel Peace Prize was, I don't know if we talked about this or not on the show. I feel like we did.
No, we didn't, but I know about it. How they
quantum entanglement has been proven and awarded a Nobel Peace Prize, which means.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about they just discovered a few weeks ago. What's the energy they've been trying to produce forever? God,
you're talking about the nuclear fusion?
Yeah,
that has been.
Is it nuclear fusion?
Yeah, the nuclear fusion. Yeah, that's a breakthrough.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the nuclear fusion. Yeah, absolutely. Like
they actually got out more energy than they put in,
and that's the whole premise behind.
That's what they're saying, at least.
Well, that's if you could pull what they're trying to do off. And Aaron's right. There's a nuclear fusion breakthrough, huge, but they couldn't recreate it. We talked about it on here briefly. They couldn't recreate it when we talked.
Okay.
Well, when we talked about it, they couldn't recreate it. So we just kind of we mentioned it, and then we said, oh, well, they couldn't do it again, right? That's how we talked about it. But now they're saying they can pull it off again. And all that is, if this is true,
they said they definitely can replicate. I saw it the other day.
Yes, fission. I'm sorry, not fusion. If they can,
it's a
one of those
fusion reactor.
If they can pull it off, you have clean, renewable, infinite energy. So, think about what that means.
Inside the nuclear fusion breakthrough, that could be the step to unlimited clean energy.
There it is. I know all about this. Trust me. I follow all this stuff. So the other thing is, quantum.
So what they did is they did an experiment, and what they've been doing is they're smashing two particles together, and they did it for the first time, and that creates a small black hole is what it's doing. It's just instant though, but basically what they're doing is they're putting in energy, and usually when they get the results back, the energy that's released is less than the energy they put in, so it doesn't work. So the goal is to get it set just right to where when you put in the energy, you get back extra energy. And that's what they've actually created somehow. So
they were able to pull
That's a layman's term. That's a shitty layman's term for what's
We're both shitty laymen's, but the point is, these both shitty laymen's know enough to know if they pull this off, it's unlimited energy. And it's clean. And there's no pollution.
And only small amounts of short-lived radioactive waste. So the radioactive waste from it doesn't even last.
Yep.
That's crazy, bro.
So
if they figure that out, everything will be powered for free.
Well, see, so there's two things that we'll end the show on this note. So there's two major things in the science realm that's going on. One that we just talked about, nuclear fusion breakthrough. The other one is in October. I'll say October. You can look this up. You can fact check me. Quantum entanglement was proven, which completely undoes Einstein's theory of E equals mc squared, No, it's proven and awarded. But
there's a lot of detractors. There's a lot of detractors about that.
Yeah, but they've proven it, and they got award. Yeah, there's detractors on everything. Of course there are. But here's the thing: it was proven, and you can go look it up. There's like 3 guys who figured it out, and all it means is no matter how far 2 particles are from each other, when one does something, the other one reacts to it. And it also proves the double slit experiment, which is Schrodinger's cat. And undoes Schrodinger's cat and undoes Einstein's entire theory of relativity.
Well, it also
that just
sets
happened.
up. It also sets the mat for alternate realities.
Exactly.
It really does.
And
It
Einstein
really
knew
does.
this might happen, and he said there's some spooky stuff. There's a quote from Albert Einstein that says, "If it was proven, spooky stuff would happen," and now they've proven it. So we have two really big science stories. We have a comet, well, three if you count the comet. Comet losing its tail. We got the nuclear fission, and now the quantum entanglement.
And I'm gonna say this. This is the last thing we can get.
Yeah.
Look into the UFOs that have been spotted over the last 2-3 weeks. Look it
Okay.
up.
All right.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of spherical UFOs showing up all around the world right now, and there's video of a lot of it. So
Really?
in a lot
More
of
than
different
usual?
places, yes. They're round spheres, and they're showing up around the world, and they're they're there. People say they look like they're spinning, but if you look at them in the pictures, they're like so black you can't even really see it. It's like see the color of it, and they're moving like crazy. You just got to see them. There's a lot of videos out the last couple of weeks. Check that out.
Wow.
All right.
That's crazy.
Peace out.
MediaBroshow.com.
Yes, MediaBroshow.com. Found all of our socials there, and peace out. We'll try to be back next week.
Later, peeps.
Late.